7-year-old boy is terrified of being touched or hugged after being beaten by his father with a fireplace tool. 7 and 9-year-old sisters suffer from sexual abuse by their brother. A 6-month-old baby girl has a misshapen head from being left in one position for too long. A 3-year-old baby boy has his collarbone broken by his father. These are all true stories of children that visit the Northwest Arkansas Children's Shelter daily. There are over 300 abused and neglected children that visit the shelter every year. Many abused children die before even getting a chance to live or grow up. 4 kids die every year from child abuse. 3 out of 4 of these victims are under the age of 4. These statistics are appalling. When abusers look into their innocent little eyes, what do you think they see? Children are not asked to be beat, sexually abused, or verbally assaulted. They want to be encouraged. They want to be nurtured, and they want to be loved. There's a statement from the Angels in Blue website, which is a website that offers support groups for law enforcement as well as abuse victims. It states that child abuse should be an unthinkable act, not an all too common occurrence. This is very true. For me and many others, this is a very emotional subject. I take child abuse very seriously, and you should as well. I want to talk about the reality of child abuse, the types of child abuse along with the warning signs of each one, and what you can do to prevent this epidemic. Every year, 3 million reports of child abuse are made in the United States, but it is estimated the actual number of incidents is 3 times greater than what is being reported. If a report is being made every 10 seconds, imagine how many are going undetected. Children ages 0 to 3 are most likely to be abused. They are small, dependent, and unable to defend themselves. In 2006, infants younger than 1 made up 44.2% of fatalities. After reviewing several real-life stories of child abuse, I have discovered that physical violence occurs primarily because the child will not stop crying. Does that make any sense to you? If a child continues to cry, then a need is not being met, whether it is that they are hungry, or cold, or wet, or they just need affection. Hurting a defenseless child is not going to make them stop crying, unless it takes their last breath away. I wish the abuser could experience what it feels like to be burned so bad that it hurts just to smile, or what it feels like to be hit in the face by someone 20 times their size. Most of these innocent souls suffer under the hands of a loved one, someone they trust to take care of them and protect them. A parent, a sibling, an aunt, an uncle, a teacher, a friend. It is estimated that hundreds of thousands of children are physically abused by a parent or close relative. One or both parents were responsible for 75% of child abuse or neglect fatalities in 2006. How can you feel safe if the one causing your pain are your parents? I read a news article from an April 2000 edition of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette that made my stomach turn and my eyes swell with tears. It is such a severe case that I almost wish I hadn't read it. At an apartment complex in Little Rock, Arkansas, a 17-month-old boy had his head smashed in on the concrete parking lot by his 25-year-old father. To make things worse, he carried the naked corpse around like a rag doll and swung it at officers, striking one in the head. The boy was dropped in the struggle, and the father was finally apprehended. Guess what his motive was? Evidently, the boy got out of bed and would not stop crying. Physical abuse is not the only form of child abuse. A child can also undergo neglect, sexual abuse, and emotional abuse. A lot of the time, a child experiences more than one. Physical abuse is injuring a child's body. Watch out for recurring and unexplained cuts, bruises, whelps, or broken bones. If a child is fearful of adults, is having a problem in school, and detaches himself from peers, this could also be warning signs of physical abuse. Neglect can include everything from withholding food, shelter, clothing, comfort, affection, or medical care. Be aware of neglect if the child is constantly dirty, has a foul odor, or if they don't have sufficient clothing for the weather. Observe if the child is frequently absent from school or begs or steals money or food. If the child seems extremely hungry and lacks proper medical care, then they probably do not have adequate supervision. Sexual abuse occurs when a child cannot understand or consent to a sexual activity such as fondling, intercourse, oral sex, or exposure to pornography. Possible signs of sexual abuse are if the child regresses into behaviors younger than their age, like bedwetting or sucking their thumb. A sexually abused child may have difficulty sitting or walking, or may have genital pain or bleeding. They are also more likely to have nightmares and change in appetite. Emotional abuse attacks a child's emotional state and sense of self-worth. A child could be emotionally mistreated if they have a sudden change in self-esteem or if they seem desperately affectionate. Also, watch out if the child is doing poorly in school, is often depressed, or is not gaining weight. Many cases of child abuse go undetected. People may be afraid to speak up for the fear of being wrong or breaking up families, or they find it hard to believe that it is actually happening, especially when it involves friends or family. I suppose they find it easier just to deny the truth than to face the reality of abuse. Sure, it hurts to see kids deprived of their childhood, but I think it would hurt even more to sit back and do nothing about it. That's where you step in. You are needed to contribute towards the prevention of child abuse. The abuse isn't going to stop, but with your help, you can make it end for at least one child. Here are 3 ways you can help. The first thing you can do is educate yourself about child abuse and learn to recognize the warning signs that I previously mentioned. If you have children, educate them as well. Teach them what is right behavior compared to wrong behavior and what to do in an uncomfortable or threatening situation. The second thing you can do is get involved and volunteer. To get involved, you can suggest, develop, or support child abuse groups and organizations. You can promote awareness of child abuse through local churches, schools, and other community organizations. There are many places to volunteer within your community. Crisis centers, emergency shelters, boys and girls clubs, and abuse hotlines provide you with an opportunity to personally affect the life of a child. How rewarding would it be to see the smiling faces of those who may not even remember the last time they laughed? Thirdly, speak up. If you believe that abuse or neglect is occurring, report it immediately. You can call the police or Department of Family and Children Services. If you don't know the number, just remember 1-800-4-A-CHILD. This will give you a list of numbers in your area and give you the option of speaking with hotline counselors. You should feel obligated to report. Treat it like a duty, a responsibility. I hope I have opened your eyes to the truth about child abuse. You are aware of the types and signs of abuse, and you know several things that you can do to help. Child abuse is real. The children are real. Every day that a child is mistreated is a day that you can help save a young life. We all know that Christmas is coming up, and after the holidays, our spirit of giving seems to trail off. From the words of Jane Donovan, child abuse happens all year long. It doesn't take a holiday, it doesn't take a day off, and we shouldn't either. I want you to take a really good look at these tragic pictures. They are pleading for your help. What are you waiting for? Donate your time, your money, and most importantly, your love. Aid in securing a child's future today.